Only I was 16.
I know. I think about that all the time. It's like, y'all making me rethink my career. Just a short side story. So Christian Dominguez, who is one of our veteran Barrio writers, he goes to St. Stephen's. And I went to do their workshop with him for their literary festival. And I'm like, Christian, you've got to stop telling people that the selling point of Barrio writers is you can cuss. It's like, I guess that's a good marketing tool, but like, damn, we're a little bit more than that, right? That's what he said every time. I was like, okay, I guess that's what you get out of it. So I'm going to introduce Itzel Sotoferate, who is Citali's sister. It's always cool to have siblings in the workshop, but you know, oftentimes what happens is, like, especially because both of them, it was their first time in the workshop, and you know, I always worry, like, oh, you know, are they going to rely on each other too much? Are they going to, you know, sometimes that happens, right? No. You know, a lot of love, a lot of support between these two is very evident, but they are their own people, and Itzel is her own person, very much so. And I think one of the things that I really admire about Itzel is that she is proud of her, proud of herself, proud of her identities, because they are identities, multiples. They contain multiple. What am I trying to say? Multiplicities or whatever? Multitudes, that's what I'm trying to say. And that's just something I really admire about her. So, Maya Itzel Sotoferate is a powerful Latina who goes to Ann Richards and was born and lives in Austin, Texas. Oftentimes, she gets confused for Michelle Obama because she is beautiful, fit, and married to Barack Obama. Just kidding about the Barack part. Itzel's a lesbian. Many times Itzel gets confused. Again, I did not write this. She gets confused for Oprah because she's incredibly giving and very successful, and also Ellen because she's gay. She was delighted to hear that she could write her biography because she loves talking about herself. Itzel is 13, is that still correct? 14 now, okay. She identifies as a Homo sapien as well as a meme. Just to inform you, Itzel means rainbow goddess. This is my favorite part of this whole thing. Yes, you heard right, rainbow goddess, which is why she blames her parents for her gayness. Itzel's passions include art, writing, theater, and most importantly, Netflix. Itzel rarely exercises, but when she does things like lifting weights, sit-ups, and running away from her problems. When she grows up, she wants to be an actor and go on Ellen. Please welcome Itzel. Yay!
So my name is Maya Itzel Sotoferate, but I go by my middle name, Itzel, which confuses a lot of white people. So this was a letter that I wrote to my name from an association called the White American Name Association. They were like really obsessed. They said, I am sorry to inform you that you have not been accepted into White American name standards. Our council has been reviewing you without end and has come to the same conclusion. You are too difficult to pronounce. Also, your whole setup confuses us. You are read Maya Itzel Sotoferate, yet you do not go by Maya. Americans are very confused by this Colombian tradition and have deemed you unpronounceable. We will suggest moving to a Spanish-speaking country where you will meet their pronouncing standards. Or perhaps going by your real name, Maya. If you decide to not do this, you will be faced with questions, mispronunciations, misunderstandings, and in some extreme cases, a blatant disregard for white people's very sensitive emotions. Or even charged with white embarrassment. This case includes the word sorry being repeated a few hundred times, which is why we must inform you that moving to Canada is not a desirable position for you. Unless, of course, you love the word sorry, in which case we suggest you buy Demi Lovato's album, or watch any of Trump's speeches. Wait, hold up. Scratch something like Itzel. But after hearing how it's spelled, they'll continue to further mispronounce it, saying things like Itzel. Sometimes after seeing an exotic name, white people will also find it funny to find cute nicknames that sound like your names. For instance, in your profile, it says that you've been called Pretzel and Pencil. But because Lord knows how similar it sounds to Itzel, even though you say that's not how you pronounce it or whatever, because how should you know how to pronounce your name? I mean, come on, we're white. We don't know any better. And if by any case scenario you were to get angry or try to correct the perpetrator of this incident, you'd be faced with extreme cases of offendedness. After all, it's not their fault they can't pronounce your name, it's yours. Another problem many people with exotic pronunciations have faced is wrongly pronounced corrections. For instance, your white friends may try to correct other white people saying stuff like, it's not Itzel, it's Itzel. God, the nervous people. And don't forget, all of this is your fault. Sincerely, the White American Name Association. I have like two more, sorry. Okay, so if you haven't been able to tell yet, I am gay. And this poem is a pride poem. It's like millennials. Okay, so your generation difference. It's okay.
Just saying.
This one is called It Keeps Moving. I can't zoom in. Okay, can't be changed. How can you say there's nothing left to fight when many of us are still stripped of rights? Tons every day dying from suicide. Praying to the sky above that God will think that love is love. Fearing the ring of angel bells because you say we'll burn in hell. So you stare because we're strange, when really all you fear is change. Linked by experience, linked by fear. Will you hate us when you hear? Trying to change a predisposition like gay can be removed by an incision, but we can't change, and it can't be removed. Hate isn't in the Bible. You rip lies from a page, it doesn't justify your rage. You make new norms for us to abide, but you cannot disrupt our pride, because you know, when push comes to shove, hate is hate, and love is love.
Yeah.
Okay, so this one's, it's like a sci-fi one. You get it. Okay, it's like the world ending and stuff. She looks at the fatuous world, an empty, desolate plain, filled with the echoes of lives, a small, quiet ember of their burnt-out fires, the stars a reminiscence of their bright, forsaken laughter. Although the light is barely there, their shadows seem longer. The days stretch out like their smiles used to, that split their faces, which are now left broken, somehow unmendable by their tears. Their eyes used to be a reflection of the stars, but now the sky lays lonely, left untouched and sad, an endless void of darkness filled with nothingness. Their souls floated to find another home, one where the skies would be imprinted with footprints of goddesses. Now all that's left are the bodies. In one consciousness, she sees it all, her soul stirring within her, the soul that can't stop wanting to leave, yearning for more. She looks into her morbid future, not content with her loyal soul. She too wants more.